Good day, lords and ladies of the internet. I'm your police today, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I welcome you back to This Is the Police, where we've caught a serial killer and I don't know what the hell is going to happen next. So, let's just read the newspapers. Freeburg boxer caught in doping scandal. Sounds bad. Convicted serial killer Albert Remenez sues city. For what? Catching him? Famous DJs play roof of Arcturus Tower. Alright. Whatever. Well, let's see what we can do with you today, Persley. And then play my lovely cello music. Oh, this is wonderful. The dentist is behind bars. Great job. $175,000. Well, that's a good start. Income from the grave. Thank you. Salary. Oh yeah, I only get 10% more. Don't I? You know, if I capture Varga now, I've hit my $500,000 goal. Hello, is this the police? It's Doris Park. Someone is in my house. I hear footsteps coming from downstairs. My husband is on a business trip and won't be home for another hour. Please come right now. I know it must be some terrorist who's going to rob me and whatchamacallit me. I've locked myself in my room, but a door won't stop this. I highly doubt this is anything proper, and probably the husband just came home a little early, so... Oh, today's the day my policeman refresh. Oh, no, it's not. Apparently it was a different day. Like the day before. Oh, well. So what's the plan today? What's going to happen? Is there anything special going on? Anything we can learn? Anything big we can give Persley so he gets a lot of professionalism?
216 in progress.
Unlawful assembly. A crowd has gathered on the steps of City Hall demanding that city officials legalize euthanasia. The protesters are chanting, "My life, my death, my choice." City Hall employees report that the people brought homemade signs. The process is proceeding peacefully. Okay, I guess I can send Persley to that. It's a peaceful protest, so I don't think we need to do anything. False alarm? Mr. Parks returned from his business trip an hour early. It was he who was making the noise in the house. Yeah, I thought as much. Suspicious individual. I swear to God, if you dare say the... Alright. I swear to God, if you dare say it's got anything to do with the dentist. I'm just waiting for Percy to get home. What's this? Chief Boyd. I represent the interests of a private military corporation, which is hoping to attract a significant investment from your city. We are preparing an investor presentation, and we'd like to demonstrate the inadequacy of police training in matters of public safety. Please understand this is just business, and we can all win here. Give us a couple of hours with your weakest and laziest guys, and my kids will look like gladiators to them. I can promise you the company will remain in your debt. Okay. Suspicious individual. Librarian Ronaldo Bourne reported that a young man came in looking for books on chemistry and monographs on explosive substances, the publications of extremist topics. Many of the books he requested are prohibited. This guy looks scary. His eyes are made from cold blood. Very likely a false alarm. Exceptionally likely a false alarm. But you can have two of my weakest. There we go. They're probably going to get a very big negative to their professionalism, aren't they? Suspicious individual. Library. Oh, as soon as the suspect sees the police, he pulls out a huge knife from his bag and rushed the librarian, shouted, "You called the pigs? Stop yelling, it's a library." Man, Percy's got quite intimidating, hasn't he? If that's all he needs to say. Suspicious individual. Parishioner Maria Bush, while she was on her way to church, encountered a group of incredibly strange teenagers. They were running around in weird costumes, fighting with sticks, and talking like robots. Maybe these crazy kids escaped from a mental hospital. That sounds like LARPing, I would honestly say. Not something worthwhile, but I'll send 2 cops none the same. Oh, they gained 20 professionalism. Boss, these guys are like machines. They walked all over us, but we learnt a lot. 20 minutes with these guys is better than a whole year at the academy. Mr. Cotwell says he's very pleased with our performance. He offered us free training at their training complex. What do you think? Sure! Why not? Suspicious individual. The members of the science fiction club were just having fun at the park. Yeah, I thought as much.
We're testing in progress.
Homicide! Well, that's something bad. Drug trafficking. Okay, we got things to send multiple ways. Drug trafficking. An anonymous tip just came in. A large shipment of Colombian coffee is being unloaded, and they're shipping heroin inside the coffee beans. There's only a few guards watching them unload the shipment, so if the police roll up, they might just give up without a fight. Purdy little Koichi Yancey, off you go. As for... hello, robbery. The elderly Cornelia Davis called up in a fit of hysterics. Come over quick, I've been robbed. This little bastard stole the treasure. Fine, McCoy, Tessabuki, handle that. Gladys Schnell was enraged about some comment that her colleague Matthew Tonner made, so she grabbed a stapler and began to beat him over the head with it. Then Mrs. Schnell yelled loudly and lashed out at the secretary. She's having a nervous breakdown. Please hurry. Off you go! Robbery. Cornelia Davis was quarreling with her mother, with the mother of a little boy who climbed into the fountain and took a few coins. I made that wish, and your little bastard stole it.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant.
Can't do anything, you're good enough by yourself. Yeah, thought as much. The woman grabbed a second stapler. In her hands, these staplers look like deadly weapons. Deal the woman a solid blow to the jaw. Look into her bloodshot eyes and try to calm her down. Floridor, I know you can do it. Booyah. I need people to come home right now. Noise complaint. A respectable sounding man with a sleepy voice come in, complaining that fireworks are being set off in front of his house. They look like bums, but they have huge bags filled with all sorts of firecrackers. Destruction of property. That requires a lot more people than I have available right now. Let's go. Patricia Buckler says 10 or so people came onto a farm with strange equipment. They wandered around with their gear for a while, then stopped and began to dig a huge pit. Her husband didn't approve of people rummaging around on this property, but his attempt to investigate ended in a fight. The farmer was badly beaten. Well, that definitely needs the police.
We've got a situation here.
There are 3 drunk men on the street lighting fireworks and throwing them about. When they see the police, one of them pulls out a firework that looks a lot like dynamite and sets fire to the fuse. Cool firecracker. I've never seen one of these before. Dive at the man and try to get the explosive from his hands. Aim at the man with a taser. The man throws the explosive to one of his friends. The wick has halfway burnt down. Taser the man and quickly extinguish the fuse.
213 complete.
Well done, you two. I'm glad you had it in you. Destruction of property. Well done. Well done. Pretty average, boring day for the police. Man, I should send some people to a barbecue so they can just rest. Disabled society demands increased benefits. Modern art gallery opens modern painting course. Bride suffers happiness heart attack at the city registry office. And everyone still loves me. I don't know why everyone loves me, but... Alright. I love this cello. And that's a restart. Go to hell. You are not killing Percy, game.
710A in progress.
Hostage situation. Wow, first thing in the morning. Two garage men were emptying some cans near a bus stop. A drunk man came past and thought he'd make fun of them. He tried to make them fight him. So the garbage men got angry, stuffed him in a can, and threw him into their garbage truck. They then continued on their route. Well, that sounds quite entertaining as much as anything. So you four, get on with it. Assault, Desire Park. Two old men were sitting on a park bench playing chess. Suddenly one of them dashed the pieces off the board, grabbed it and started beating his opponent over the head with it. The eyewitness who called it said it was quite agitated. Hurry, the old man's whole head is covered in blood. Oh boy. Let's get going, guys. The police caught up with the garbage truck and pulled it over. The two men in overalls are laughing in the cab. Go into the trash and look for the drunk man. Guys, the joke is over. Release the hostage. The drunk man gets out the garbage truck, shakes the dirt off, and attacks the police. And here's the real beast. Scavengers, bastards. You're the worst of them all, filling your bellies at our expense. You should all die. Apologize to the man and promise to do better. Not much more you can do in that situation. Because he's technically not the criminal. Really. Hard to say. Assault. Nice. Assignment. We have something going down at the Sugar Dream Confectionery at 10 to 7. 10 to 7. 10 to 7. 6 hours. Bomb threat. An elderly employee at the Scissor Sisters, an office supply store, reported that a courier brought a suspicious parcel. The return address is smeared with ketchup or blood. No one else can hear it, but I swear there's something ticking inside. Sounds somewhat serious, so I'll send you a couple of people. Robbery, drugstore. A young female pharmacist said an addict with a length of steel pipe is trying to break into her pharmacy. Bomb threat. Inside the box were staples and an item returned from an unhappy customer. Fair. Disorderly conduct. Desire Park. An old man called in to report that right in front of his favorite park bench, a group of crazy-looking people wearing very revealing clothing were flopping around on the grass, spitting on the feelings of God-fearing Christians and alarming everyone who walks past. Yeah, okay. Fine. The addict has broken a window and is trying to climb through. His feet are still sticking out. Sees the offender's legs. The addict falls out the window and back onto the street. He drops the scrap of pipe and tries to escape. Use pepper spray. Huh? The fuck are you on about, Citizen Kill? How? The elderly man was outraged at the yoga group. Assault. Kimberly Adams was celebrating her birthday with some friends and acquaintances. After a long dinner, she started opening her gifts and found a huge toy. She flushed and then grabbed the toy and attacked her friend who gave her the gag present. You bird, you soulless monster, all my friends from the cemetery are here. Is this what you want them to think of me? Mrs. Adams then continued to beat her friend over the head until she made a bloody mess of her scalp. Someone can't take a joke. Devlin Country House. Once again, I could really use your help. I'm trying to expand the ranch, but the adjacent territory belongs to the fucking idiots who are asking an insane amount for it. Today I'll be in a regular meeting with them, and I want a bunch of your police officers to come in during the meeting and start asking a lot of questions about murders on the property. Maniacs running loose, drug addicts living nearby, stuff like that. Basically help me put pressure on the sellers and knock down the cost a little bit. If the Freeburg police help me, I'll stretch out my hand and offer, say, a boost in your budget. Enough for 5 new jobs. Yes! 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 I'm good with this. Theodore Raminas, caretaker at the candy factory, reports that 5 masked men broke down the door and disappeared inside. The watchman wanted to do his duty and interfere, but there's too many of them. It wouldn't be smart. They'd just nail me to a wall. You'd better come sort this out yourselves. I'm sorry, I've got no one available right now. Wink, wink. Noise complaint, ghetto. An angry man phoned in, yelling about his neighbors. He's been hearing terrible ringing and shouting coming from the side of his house. My ears are going to explode. You have to stop this right away.
We've got a situation here.
Octopus restaurant. The girl is pounding her friend's head with all her might. Her victim hasn't been conscious for a while. A huge crowd has gathered and it's impossible to get near the fight. Blow your police whistle with all your might. Seeing the police, the assailant comes to her senses and jumps up and makes a break for the back door, pushing people out of the way with her toy. Arm the taser and run after the girl.
412A complete.
Bloody fool.
810 complete.
No one dead! This is why I like Victor. Thanks for the money, Victor. Chief, we loved playing the part. In the end, we even had ourselves believing it. And we really don't mind earning an extra little on the side. We don't even ask for a thank you. But when we all... What? Chief, we loved playing the part. In the end, we even had ourselves believing it. And we don't mind earning a little on the side. We don't even ask for a thank you. But when we all kind of hinted that we deserved a couple hundred extra, Mr. Moneybags just hissed at us and said to fuck off. That he was on the verge of making the deal of a lifetime. That's not how things are done. We're heading to the bar. Okay. Does that mean I got my cop slots or what?
510 in progress.
Shooting, suburb. Mrs. Kent called to complain about a drunken neighbor who decided it would be fun to go after sunset and shoot beer cans in his backyard. Get that drunk behind bars before he kills someone. Fair enough. The call came in from Clark Kennigan, a former psychiatric patient who recently stopped taking his prescribed medication. Wasn't expecting that. Was not expecting that. Drug addiction in the city increased by 38%. Didn't we get that a few days ago? Theatre director, we need fresh faces and new voices. The Freeburg chess master reaches the World Cup. Cool. A watched pot never boils. Oh, hello.
Mr. Boyd, this is for you.
Oh.
That's it?
What's it?
This is from our guy?
What?
It's from the private detective?
What? Oh, no. No, Mr. Boyd. It's from an Agent Dixon.
Huh.
Fine.
What's this gonna be? Am I getting my money confiscated?
I'm sorry I couldn't swing by before I left, but I'll definitely be back to celebrate your retirement. Ethan.
Oh. And then he's got the comic of the superhero cop.
Bobby Flash, Diamonds and Thieves. Bobby Flash and the Card Shop. Bobby Flash and the Cats Club. Bobby Flash and the Temptations. Ah, that's what I need.
Alright. Well, we've got less cops on shift today, but let's see what we can do about it. I swear this music stopped playing halfway through. Atola's Call. Hold up. That's not much. I can share that. Jack, I just had a very pleasant conversation with Mr. Devlin. He was incredibly flattering about your work and donated a large sum of money to satisfy the needs of your police department. It's good enough for your staff to expand by 5, or rather 2 people. Expand by 5, or rather 2 people. Keep... Arse! Mr. Boyd, I'm Ron Artius. We haven't had the pleasure, but I'm sure you've passed by my lovely skyscraper from time to time. It's a wonderful building, and I'd like to expand the surrounding territory. I've received all the necessary documents for the demolition of a small neighboring park. The crew is standing by, but as always, the rabble are causing a lot of problems. Ladies with strollers, dog lovers are claiming they use the park every day. I wouldn't want you I wouldn't want you to take me for for accidentally burying one of the protesters under a layer of concrete. If you can send some men to break up these bums, I'd be really grateful. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. I guess that'll have to do. Well, I get 2 new officers, so... Massive fight. Broadfield Asylum. A lunatic named Dorothy Townsend snuck out one of her rooms. You know what? I don't care. This had better be enough people. She also had hoped to escape with her husband, who is also a patient. This was the report we just received from Carlander, doctor at the psychiatric hospital. The woman has raised a fuss among the other patients. The nurses are being beaten while the hospital is wrecked. Alright, well... Let's go, Pursley, Florida, and Fitchback. Let's hope. Mostly hope we don't get another call, because...
11 in progress.
Fucking Christ! Just as I thought, Mr. Boyd. We make a great team. With my resources and your abilities, we can work wonders together. I'll be glad to provide you with any services I can for a modest fee. It's the least I can do. Yeah, there are definitely going to be some dead people here. An eyewitness that says that a dark sedan abruptly stopped in the middle of the street. A man with a pistol jumped out and began firing through the window of the request room. The caller seemed like he was firing back, but he wasn't sure. Who died? Yeah, thought as much. Abduction. Desire Park. 6-year Alex went to the playground in the park with her father. Disappeared in broad daylight. Well, we'd better make sure we investigate into that. So what does Atlas Corp do for me? A party. Each of your lucky subordinates can go to the luxury house party and relax. Safe firing. If you want to get rid of an employee, we can offer them a place in the Arcturus security detail. We'll even write their letter of resignation. Ooh. Officer Slaught. Arcturus Corp would be happy to make a donation to the police department on your behalf. So you can hire another officer. Secret account. A bank account which the prosecutor's office cannot possibly access. If anyone is investigating you, they won't be able to find your money. Well, that sounds useful. I should have done the Atlas Corp thing now. Jack, you got into our business when you opened an investigation regarding the abduction. No, I don't care. I don't get enough investigations. A teller noticed 3 hooded men enter the bank carrying sports bags. The frightened teller whispered into the phone, "Hurry up, I think they're trying to rob us. Why else would they be carrying those bags?" Probably to withdraw a lot of money, but let's send some police anyway. Imprisonment. Dennis Chapman reported that his neighbor, Martin Proof, is holding 2 young girls against their will in his bomb shelter. The old fool is absolutely out of his gird. He's convinced that aliens are coming any day now to destroy us, and he's preparing for the coming disaster. He built a bomb shelter, filled it with food, and somehow got those girls down there. I hear them crying, and I wanted to help, but Prof threatened me with a shotgun, said not to interfere in his affairs. Mr. Chapman also explained that the suspect... Mr. Chapman also explained that the suspect needed the women to repopulate the Earth after the disaster. Floridor, go handle that.
In progress.
Public indecency. Desire Park. An old woman called in a complaint about a transvestite. There's a man in a skirt running around in broad daylight. Has he no shame? He's causing quite the stir. You know what? I think that's a false alarm, because I don't think we can do anything about that, or shouldn't do anything about that, but... False? The men had just returned from the gym and were stopping at the bank to take out some cash.
Looks like we have a situation.
Near the bomb shelter, is a man with shifty eyes, wiggling his hands. Go away, vile aliens. You'll never get me and my wives. Sir, you have to you have to help us save the world. The president is waiting for you.
7-11.
Bull crap! You know, in theory, if I can get more cop slots, I can get more dead cops. Which means I can get more funding.
Situation here.
Lower weapons and try to calm the man down.
7-11.
That's better. That's better! The man is not a transvestite, but a Scotsman out for a walk in his nation's traditional outfit. Yeah, okay. I love how you say that as if it would have made a difference if he was a transvestite. Senior writer Ivan Volkov attacked a young editor who was reading his manuscript. The madman tried to strangle him. Haven't we dealt with this guy before? Public indecency. Several eyewitnesses reported that a naked man is riding a motorcycle through the city. He's carrying a pistol and shooting into the air while he laughs hysterically. He's very wild and dangerous. He almost knocked over a girl who was crossing the road. Then he took an aim and tried to shoot her. Yeah, we need the big professional guys on that. Missing person. Beach. A pizza delivery man picked up an order in the morning and didn't return for the rest of the day. The manager said their couriers have been attacked and robbed a few times, and they're very worried about the young man. The missing person is Robert Derry, who was known for his carelessness, and has been nearly fired for his absenteeism. Very clearly took a day off at the beach. But I'll send the cops none the same.
We've got a situation
Bokov
here.
is sitting on top of the editor, strangling him. Mr. Bokov, I have a question about one of your novels, At the End of the Holy Rainbow. Why does Bolovo sell his house? Give him a dose of pepper spray.
412A.
Just pepper spray. That answers most questions. I mean, have you ever been hit by pepper spray? It's pretty damn bad stuff. Illegal arms sales. Kevin Throatbar. A tipsy bar visitor reported that the bartender tried to sell him a gun. Basically, I was just sitting there drinking and complaining about my wife, who's insisting on a divorce. Bird threatened to take away my children. Says I'm a drunk bastard and don't appreciate her. So I tell all this to the bartender and he listened and nodded. And then he said, "My friend, you've got to teach that bird a lesson. Come on, I have exactly what you need in the bag." So basically, I follow him and he's got a box with a bunch of guns. Pick one, he says. Give it to you cheap. But I said I'll just think about it and gave you guys a call.
730.
Huh. Mrs. Harry met some girls on the beach and decided to stay and party with them. Yeah, I thought as much. Yeah, this here could be bad. That might be worth a SWAT team for it, honestly. Reckless endangerment. A passerby says there's a group of sports cars racing down the road at insane speed. They'll kill anyone who gets in their way. These guys will stop for nothing. Report abduction. I don't think I'm anywhere near enough frames. I am not. We'll get it tomorrow.
Officer,
The bar is crowded and smoky, and there's a skinny guy lying on the floor. The bartender is wiping the counter with a dirty rag. Check the skinny guy's pulse. The bartender drops his rag and puts his hands on the table. The skinny guy on the floor starts to vomit. Keep your hands where I can see them.
1113.
Ooh. This is why I don't want to do the investigation into Victor, because I'm afraid that I'm just going to lose my mafia thing. Which means I won't be able to sell my crap anymore. I mean, granted, I shouldn't be anyway, because I'm a good cop, but... Wait, no, I'm not a good cop anymore. But I should be a good cop. But still. Expert. Munitional public toilets need major repairs. Bigfoot Athletic Tow Store organizes charity marathon. Number of buses increased on all routes. Sounds good. What's going on now? Today is a great day. It's the day of my daughter's wedding. No way I can miss a ceremony. Can I take some time off? You know what? That's a worthy excuse. But come in tomorrow. Yeah, you can go home. Ooh, new badge. That means new people. Doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Oh, okay. Well, hi, City Hall. You know what? I'll take the detective.
910C in progress.
Armed robbery. 4 men flagged down a truck outside a diner, then pulled the truck's driver out the cab. The diner's cook called it in. Now they're searching the truck. One of the men is carrying an axe. You know, I'm very tempted to use one of these things. At least a safe firing exists now, as well. Extortion. We have received a complaint that some students who say their new physical education teacher is extorting money from them for grades. I highly doubt that, but let's take it in anyway. I think you'll be fine.
910C complete.
Yeah, there we go. All good, all good.
Immediate
That is a lot of things that just happened at once. The police arrive at the gym during recess, and the gym teacher spots them and tries to escape, but the other exit is chained shut. The windows are secured with thick steel screens. Calm down, we just want to talk. In panic, the teacher quickly climbs the rope up the ceiling. I can wait, my shift just started.
912 complete.
How the fuck?
912 complete.
Glorious! Apparently you have to climb up the rope after him. So, assault. An elderly homeless man was found urinating on the wall of the cathedral. One of the parishioners who found him grew furious. He threw the old man to the ground and beat the bottoms off his feet, shouting, "You're an animal. You don't deserve to walk this earth." Yeah, that's a little extreme. Let's go deal with that. Unlawful assembly. Probably don't have enough people. Suspicious individual. A man called in an emergency, whispering hysterically. He said he is sitting in the kitchen with them. Sitting in the kitchen, and Mephistopheles is coming for a drink. It's the goddamn devil. Come and get him. You got something going down at the port at 9 o'clock. Drivers gathered in City Hall parking lot, protesting against the recent increase in vehicle tax. According to one of the eyewitnesses, they set fire to several tires, but otherwise been behaving fairly well. I mean, setting fire to tires I don't think sounds like behaving fairly well. Personally. Apparently that riot turned into something more worse than we thought it did. Good thing it doesn't matter. Drunk man confused his regular drinking companion for the devil. Yeah, I thought that might be the... Okay, this is getting ridiculous with how many things I seem to be failing at the moment. Good, you caught the priest that time. He deserves to be caught. Tony Bingham, a broker, spoke quickly on the phone. I just brushed up against some arse in a blue baseball cap out on the street, and he came up behind me, jabbed me in the back with a gun, and took my wallet, my watch, and my gold ring. While I was looking for a payphone to call the police, I saw him again. He's 10 yards away. I'm looking right at him. Alright, well that sounds pretty bad. You three, go deal with that. An official from the mayor's office will be visiting a bookstore today to present his biography, The Great Man's Big Business. The Great Big Man's Business. It's necessary to secure his safety. Alright, Nordland, there you go. Vandalism. Veteran Daniel Cockett claims that his neighbor, a student, constantly taking craps on his porch. Look, he nearly plastered every step. This has to stop. What time was Victor's thing again? It was 9 o'clock, wasn't it? At the port. There are two people in the street. Two of them wearing baseball caps. Grab the black man in a baseball cap. Seize the man in the blue baseball cap. Carefully observe both. The suspect strikes a police officer and reaches for the gun. Shoot him with a taser. Glorious. Glorious! The actual culprits were a couple of stray dogs. Assault. Enraged by the latest wave of cuts at the plant, Aldir Orez attacked his boss and beat him severely. His co-workers are afraid Mr. Orez has really snapped and called the police. One husky ironworker said this: "We always had problems with Ada. He gets angry a lot, but this time it's different. His eyes are bloodshot, he's growling like a wild beast, and he's about to throw the boss into a vat of molten metal." Yeah, that's a little extreme.
11,
Drug trafficking. A witness saw several cars in the port surrounded by several dozen armed men. They were unloading something suspicious from a container. I don't have the manpower. No, sirree.
Officer on scene.
Aldir Orez is standing over a vat of molten metal. He's wearing a protective suit and they're holding his unconscious boss by the throat, screaming like a wild man. Bring the suspect to his senses with a warning shot.
412A.
Well done. If I do that, Victus will be annoyed at me, but I'd probably get some cocaine to make money. We received an anonymous tip that a local car dealership is being used to smuggle heroin. According to the anonymous source, the drugs are hidden in the spare tire. Sure, why not? Really? Damn it, Victor, you never kill people. Also, I didn't assign the people to the abduction. Damn it! I'm making all sorts of mistakes today, aren't I?
11-11-8.
The phony tip came from some competitors who were hoping to harm the car dealership's reputation. Probably did. City Hall cuts prison funding. Why? Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena hosts Stalin doubles competition. Stuntman killed filming Bloody Shirt 5. Mafia still love me. Some pipes at my house got busted and I need to wait around for a plumber. No. Who wants another stripe? Personally, you deserve a stripe. And it's totally not favoritism. Totally. I can hire one more detective. Glorious. How about that Channaberry Newberry right there? He looks pretty damn decent. What shift are we today? B. He can go straight to shift A then. And Margaret, you look actually pretty decent, 200-ish. Shift A could probably use you as well. Magnificent. Armed robbery. 3 drunk women entered an all-night store, grabbed a drink of Diet Coke, and when the shopkeeper walked into the back room, they climbed behind the counter, grabbed the shotgun, and wounded the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper's wife, who lives on the 2nd floor, called the police. Alright, let's send the badasses. Suspicious individual. The Black Handsome Barber Shop called to report that a man in a hood and sunglasses asked for a haircut, so that no one could recognize him. Hairdresser Emmett Brooks suspects that the man may be on the run from the law. He even agreed to dye his hair blonde. There's obviously something wrong. Alright, you guys can take Koichi. Koichi, Tatsubuki, and Glenn. It's your first mission, Glenn. Don't screw it up!
Got a situation.
The women are having fun, drinking alcohol and throwing food around the store. When they see the police, one of them grabs the shotgun and opens fire. Wait until the criminals run out of ammunition.
9-10 completion.
Morons.
5-10 in progress.
Shooting, ghetto. The man just wanted to surprise his wife on their wedding anniversary. Oh, yeah, okay. Carmelo Cowan has been fighting with his 42-year-old mother's 23-year-old boyfriend. A neighbor called the police and said that these people have been at it for a long time, shouting at each other in the street. Then things suddenly went downhill fast. They started fighting and the son pulled out a gun and opened fire on the others. The woman was shot in the leg and the boyfriend got at least 3 shots in the stomach. Yep, we gotta send the badasses.
7-12 in progress.
Abduction, kindergarten. Kindergarten teacher Carolina Cunningham reports that Alevtina Vasilivia, I definitely said that wrong, burst into the nursery, grabbed her son, and tried to run. The school knew she lost custody in the divorce, so security stopped her as she tried to escape through the exit. Now the suspect has locked herself in a room and is demanding that the school release her son. I highly doubt that for you 3.
12-10 in progress.
Shut up.
Looks like we have a situation here.
I love how when I try to say something, this game interrupts me. Children and caretakers are crowding around the door. Everyone get away from the door immediately. Behind the door, the child is yelling and then speaks in a murmur. I want my daddy. In the background, there's the sound of someone trying to open the window. This is the police. Open the door. Let's not make things worse.
7-12 complete.
Child abuse. An elderly disabled woman watched from her window as the mother struck her young son in the face, then began to drown him in an inflatable pool. Hurry. You know what? I just need to hear those words, and that's all I need to do. What's this? Suspicious individual. Young waitress reports that a wanted fugitive just entered her restaurant. I don't remember what his name is or what he did, but the TV said he was very dangerous. I suspect this is a false alarm, so... Atlas Corp. Okay, I just noticed your tower there. What do you want? Mr. Boyd, we were able to demolish the park next to the skyscraper, but now there's another problem. We've begun work at the site and someone has been sneaking in at nights and stealing construction materials. Either my guards are deaf or they're in it with the thieves. Send over a few of your men and have them cover the perimeter and grab anyone suspicious. But don't take the thieves to the police station. I'll deal with the bastards my way. That's not really how we're meant to do things around here, Mr. Atlas.
In progress.
The man was Manuel Torreblanca, Latin America soap opera star. The waitress must have seen an advertisement for Mr. Torreblanca's show and mixed it up with a police bulletin with the wanted list. Attempted murder. Ooh, this looks bad. A stoned voice shouted into the emergency line that some guy with a top hat was going to saw a woman in half at the park. The animal has no limits. He's going to kill the poor girl. He was chanting to the crowd of crazies who gathered around to watch. It's some kind of sacrifice. It's a magician show! Jack, we have something going down today at the nightclub at 11 o'clock. For $7,000. Okay. Alright. There we go. 4 police. What's this fight? It was only a scheduled performance by the famous magician Lorenzo Trentamo. Yeah, I thought as much. Fight! 4 black men with shovels and metal detectors were walking along the beach and came upon something valuable. First they hurried to dig their big find, but before they finished digging, they'd begun to swear and argue with each other's shares. The man with the grey beard got tired of his friend and bashed the guy's head in with a metal detector. He fell over dead on the sand. The remaining 3 are still going at it. Eyewitnesses called the police and said to hurry. Yeah, let's hurry. Glenn, you need some real experience. I'm sending you with the big boys.
911 in progress.
Theft, Route 22. Havel Holub said that he paid a girl to spend the night with him last night. In the morning, he said goodbye to her, but later when he went to the closet, he found that some jewelry worth $3,000 had disappeared. Mr. Holub is prepared to show the girl where the girl can usually be found. There we go then. Atlas Corp. Thank you for the help, Mr. Boyd. Fight. Massive fight. A fight broke out at the Butterflies on Crack punk rock concert. Theft. Loot found. Jewelry. That's why we asked the Mafia to sell it. Alright, so what's going on here? Mrs. McLean, the girl's mother. My husband and I are divorced, and he's suing for full custody of Alex. That is a really lovely way of spelling that name. My lawyer says his chances are 0, and I think he knows it too. Now it looks like he decided to not wait for the courts, just take what he wants, like alcoholics always do. But how could he do this to his own daughter? He must have one of his cronies. He must have used one of his cronies to help grab her. They're always hitting the bottle and ready for trouble. Him and his whole family are a bunch of drunks and a bunch of trouble. First, I've been sober as a judge for a month now. I go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings all the time. Second, I only let Alex out of my sight for a second. It was Timothy Gathia came up. He's great. We talked for just a second while my daughter was playing by the hill. When I turned to check on her, she was nowhere, completely gone. I think it's Gally. Why can I not say any of these names? Who made off with her. She's already trying to set the judge against me. She says I'm unfit to be a father. Ha. Mr. Galliner. Yes, I saw Gordon and his daughter in the park. We talked for just a moment. He was going to walk with her down the hill, so I shook his hand and left. Adrian, a teenager in a corn costume. I was handing out leaflets in the park. I noticed 2 men drinking whiskey straight from the bottle, sitting on a bench near a roller coaster. I saw a girl in a blue dress. She was playing near the hill, and then she bent down to pick up something from the ground. Then an elderly woman walked by, and she took the girl by the hand, and they walked away. The woman walked like she was dizzy. Mr. Holmes, valet. I didn't see anything suspicious. A drunk driver hit a trash can in the parking lot, left some light paint behind, then drove off like nothing happened. Well, that's the last one, then. You're the important one. You're the father and whatnot. That's the girl being dragged away after dropping the doll. That's her trying to pick it up, and that's her going to pick it up. Judas McCain, this hard-drinking grandmother, decided no court has the right to take away her granddaughter. Percy, you're on the way home, right? Yeah, good, man. Right, Floridor, Percy, off you go. Judith McCain lost her home and now lives in a trailer. Obviously, some citizen's gonna die there, but... yeah, I thought as much. Yeah, I was gonna say, better give me a lot of money for that. Excellent. The offender was caught. Marvelous. All jobs done, all cases fixed. Magnificent. Homelessness increased by 13%. Nudist demand private beach in city. Juvenile vandals forced to clean graffiti. Good for that. Good. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. I got a few weak links at the moment, don't I? You've got 3 ranks. Well, Mr. Newberry.
510 in progress.
Hold up. You flunked, you brilliantly passed, meaning we reset until they both think. What's this, City Hall? According to recent reports, the FBD is hiring police academy graduates with the lowest grades. This is shameful, not just for you, but for the entire city. In the next 2 days, send at least 4 cops for retraining. If you can't teach them anything, let the professionals step in. Fair? Excellent! Both of them were able to pass their exams. Glorious. That's what we like to see. Now, who do I want to send to the police academy then? Well, it should be Glenn, it should be Chavez, it should be Murata. So, Deputy, Artius Tower. An office employee came to work earlier than usual and heard gunshots and screams coming from up on the roof. I always work on the top floor. I've never noticed anything like this before. We can send a few people then. Probably a paddy wagon too, just to be safe. I can't send people to the academy when they're not currently on the shift today. Noted. I really feel I should maybe send one of the detectives. Unlawful assembly. Abortion opponents have blockaded a woman's clinic. They're acting very aggressively, shouting, "Abortion is murder, abortion is sin, no one dares approach, but the doctors and nurses are afraid to leave the building." Certainly goddamn idiots. By the way, is the RTS court thing a false alarm? I get the feeling it's a false alarm. Turns out that the roof is being used for the final skyscraper scene of the new action movie Bloody Shirt 5, Johnny's New Look. Reckless endangerment. A group of pranksters have been tossing purses on the sidewalk, tied to a thin string. They pull the thread attached to the purse and lure curious passerbys into a dumpster in the alley. This is not the first complaint we've gotten about these pranksters. The other day, one of the victims was so scared that when they tossed her in the dustbin, she lost consciousness and still hasn't recovered. Yeah, it's about time these punks got dealt with. You know what? You can actually have your return there. Nancy French. Mr. Boyd, my foreign cooks have really gotten out of hand. They start spitting in the food and putting in all sorts of strange things, like it's some sort of joke. It wouldn't matter, except several visitors began to notice they're eating foreign objects and started to complain. I tried to talk to the staff, and they nodded angry, but then they continued to wreak havoc. Please send a couple of your men, maybe intimidate them with jail time or deportation. But make sure the threats stay just threats. I can't afford to be without the cooks for just one day.
We've got a situation here.
There's a $100 bill on the street and a few teenagers in the alley poking their heads from around the corner. Quietly enter the alley from the other side. Damn kids.
1310 in progress.
Right, what's this? Fraud. A man who wished to remain anonymous told us the address of another man who is engaged in the production and sale of fake documents, certificates, and other papers that are in demand these days. This guy's price is skyrocketed, and the quality is just as bad as before. I love how that's your complaint about the entire thing. Unlawful assembly. There we go.
911 in progress.
Artius Tower theft. A seller at a gift shop noticed a brightly dressed Mexican woman stuffing a statue of the Freeburg Monument into a bag. She then kept on shopping and trying things on, so I followed her. She paid for everything in cash except the figurine. I asked the security guard to stop her, but some big guy stepped in and the thief escaped. Better send some people to deal with it then. Ghetto. No one responds to the knock on the door, so the police knock it down and enter the apartment. A man wearing glasses pops out of the room and presents a federal ID badge. Inspect the ID.
1310 complete.
Yeah, thought as much. So, we showed some initiative and knocked around the clever immigrant with our nightsticks a little bit. What? We fucked the rest of them. We fucked with the rest of them for half an hour, and they got with the program. They won't be monkeying with the food anymore. Miss French was so thankful she served up some crab salad and with some sake. Not even our families take care of us like that. Great. Now you're both drunk. Meaning I can't justify sending you out because you might hit someone. Or yourself.
Progress.
Reckless endangerment. Suburb. Leroy Everett noticed two apparently smoke-filled teenagers sitting on the side of the road, taking turns playing Russian roulette. Oh, okay. That's rather extreme. The girl turned out to be a pop star, Alina Morez, who was visiting Freiburg while on a tour. The big man who stepped in was her bodyguard. She was collecting souvenirs in the local shop and just forgot the statuette in her bag. I couldn't fit everything in my hands, apologized Ilya. The seller didn't recognize her. I don't even listen to pop music. She accepted an autograph from the singer anyway. Well, I mean, as long as she paid for it in the end, then. Hostage situation with a fatal casualty. A passerby saw some masked gunmen flee a bank carrying some big bags and run into an apartment building. It looked like one of the robbers was wounded. Better send the SWAT. Reckless endangerment. Good job, new guys. Suspicious individual, suburb. Naomi Rutherford is gravely concerned that the city is being invaded by communists. I saw right outside my window a whole family wearing red tracksuits with the letters USSR written on them. I haven't seen anyone holding their hammer and sickle, not yet anyway, but I know it in my heart it's just like the past 200 years. We've shed blood and sweat for this democracy of ours, and we won't give it up for these commies without a fight. That sounds like a huge false alarm. The doorman is lying unconscious on the floor, the elevator isn't working, and there's traces of blood on the steps. Follow the trail of blood. Somewhere near the top of the stairs, a woman screams and there's gunshots. The doorman starts to come around. Interrogate the doorman. There's a corpse of a woman in a robe lying on the staircase. The criminals have holed up in an apartment. Throw stun grenades inside. We found money! Let's have the mafia sell the money. Fight. Christopher Sands Arena. A few girls go into a fight while waiting in line for tickets to the Larry Pistol concert. Alright. Don't you worry, I'm just gonna have to wait for Beard, because look at that man. The woman seems to have been started by the Brin family, immigrants from the Soviet Union, who arrived in town just today, and haven't had time to buy new clothes. Thought that might be the case. You need reinforcements, so be it, we'll send you as many as I can. Never mind, those two are drunk. Not sending those. Off you go, guys. You know, being a policeman, or at least a police chief, doesn't seem to have many particularly hazy situations. Can't wait to see what else is going to try and screw us over.
311A complete.
There we go. Port Union threatens strike. Classroom horrified when failed chemistry experiment claims teacher's life. Farmers grow record-breaking zucchini. Well, I think we got one more day in us. There's a new movie opening today starring my favorite actor. No! Ah, that's a lot of nice money. I'll take all of that, thank you. The deadline is tomorrow. Yes, I know. You gave me 2 days so I could pick people from both days. I understand, and I am doing it. Glenn, off you go. Then who? Maybe I should send Markiplier, because he doesn't have a rank, and I really feel he should have a rank. I could also just send Percy. But I don't trust being without Percy for a day. Percy's our special man, after all. Jack, keep up the good work.
712 in progress.
Abduction. A witness found a rusty white truck that's wanted in connection with the schoolyard kidnapping of 13-year-old Tanya Rodriguez. The machine is sitting in the field. There's no movement and no sign of life for over 2 hours. Right, I don't know how to feel about that one. Let's send some people just in case. Assault. 50-year-old Amanda Price attacked a young waitress, claiming the girl was flirting with her husband. Amanda grabbed the waitress by the hair and dragged her across the floor, yelling, "You bent over too far. Your female parts almost flopped on the floor." Don't be jealous because she's got better assets than you. That's not nice. Jack, we've got something going down at the port today at 2 o'clock. I swear, if it sounds like someone's gonna die, Victor. You've killed 2 people so far, and I'm getting annoyed by it. Suddenly, strange sounds start coming from this van. The windows are frosted over, so it's impossible to tell what's going on inside. Open the door. Inside, there's a man and a girl playing with dolls. Take the girl away, then, and tell her she can continue playing in the police car. What a creepy man. Terrorism. Mr. Norris called to report an explosion. I was in the kitchen making an omelette with bacon, and suddenly, bang! The explosion shook my windows. I'm a former military man, and I'd say that was about 10 pounds of TNT, no less. Are you sure you're not suffering from PTSD? And just remembering something? I mean, I'm not saying anything, but we'd always need to be sure, right? Abuse of authority. Young businessman Rasul Habat came to the police about a minor city official Jasper Redmond, who has demanded a bribe of $20,000. Otherwise, he's refusing the necessary permits for Hadet's store. The businessman has volunteered to pretend he's delivering the bribe so the police can catch Redmond in the act. Yeah, that's good with me. Markiplier, Percy, I suppose Floridor too. You know, as well. Get on that. Mr. Norris's neighbors are performing major renovations on their house. The man heard them doing some demolition. Who does demolition to do renovations? How is that not a crime? The police are in the office as soon as the money changes hands. Redmond tries to quickly hide a huge parcel in the drawer. Search the desk. The official quickly jumps up and rushes towards the window, trying in vain to get it open. Grab him and get him on the ground. Attempted murder, then. A young sailor reported an attempt on his life. I was just swimming around close to the shore when I felt someone's slippery fingers catch my ankle and try to drag me down. I barely escaped. You can laugh, but I know for a fact it was definitely a mermaid. I was in the Navy. I know all about them. Really now. What's this? Attempted carjacking. A port employee saw 2 men trying to break into a truck. They are unable to get it started, so they unhook the truck's trailer and are trying to now make off with it. You know what? I was told to ignore that for $2,000. So that means no one should be dying. Homicide. I probably need some people to return, like Percy. Good man, Percy. 24 homeless people have settled outside the city, where they've organized a small camp. They're very aggressive to strangers. They attack and beat outsiders and, according to a rumor, kill them, and sometimes even eat them. The anomalous source also said to look at their gardens. They grow narcotics beside the vegetables. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Let's send some of the big... Let's send the big boys! Jack, one of our guys stole a substantial shipment and disappeared somewhere in the warehouse district. We don't have time to play detective in there, so we'd like you to give us some professional help. Yeah, okay, sure, why not? No one died. Good man. Give me my money. Shooting. Mr. Norris called in about some shots he heard from the street. I was frying up a steak, and I heard several sharp claps. I think it was an M16. I'm ex-military, so I know what I'm saying. You'd better watch. Ah, those are some big guns. Attempted murder. The sailor's leg was snagged in an overgrown fleshy algae that grows near the shore. Yeah, I thought as much. Spotting the police, 3 residents of the cap draw some strange knives and rush to attack. Fire shots into the air. A grubby woman with a baby in her arms crawls out of one of the tents and runs towards the police. My son, take my son away from here. Pick up the woman and child. Fiscus. Sure, sell it. Why not? An informant reports that some containers are being smuggled into the port. Some illegal immigrants are hiding inside, and they're being sold as slaves. Oh, that's really bad. We're gonna need everyone. There was a children's birthday party going on inside the house, beside Mr. Norris. The guests popped a few balloons. How can you mistake balloon popping with gunshots? An elderly woman made a scandalous accusation at the pharmacy. She claimed that the pharmacist substituted her medication, and because of them, she was gaining weight. Look at these wrinkles, it's disgusting. Then the outraged woman took off her dress. Little, go handle that. Meanwhile, Floridol, Fitchbatch, Purdy, Pursley, Paddywagon, and Spain and Glenn go handle the human trafficking. Assault, Rubinach Casino. A man who lost a large sum of money at poker table attacked the female dealer. Fair, to the point. Let's go solve that. Human trafficking. Nice. Sell the get the mafia to sell that. Well, this has been quite the successful day, hasn't it? Oh yes.
We've got a situation.
Why are you cheating, Bird? The man in the yellow jacket is pointing a gun right to the girl's face. The casino security are cautiously watching the action from behind the slot machines. Pocket a few chips from the table. No! Dude, where did you get that gorgeous jacket? The man is squeezing the girl's hand, saying, I know how to put an end to your sleight of hand. We'll see how well you palm cards when you're missing fingers. Bet it all on red. Who did I send on this? Ah, just shoot the man with the taser. There we go. That's all you need. The taser. Every time. And that looks like it's the final thing of the day. Well, we've had a lot going on, haven't we? Day 89. Immigrants in city up to 19%. Ambulance driver takes down robber addict. Bishop demands name change for Holy House Pizza. I wondered whether that was going to get a problem with the church or not. Well, everyone, I'm afraid I'm all out of time for today's episode, so it looks like, what can I say other than thank you all for joining me today. I've been your host, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I hope to see you all again next time. But I'm afraid that until then, it is time for me to bid thee all farewell, good day, and finally, good night.